Hi guys, Rebecca here. Today is 4/26/2017. Time is 10:44 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The date in New Zealand is 4/27/2017 and the time is 1:45 p.m. In front of me you can see I have a map of Google Earth, and we're just going to run down a few of the quakes and through yesterday and through today. We're going to start with a 2.6. This quake is over here at Summit Ridge. And if we look over here, we can see, I believe this is the summit. Ooh. Our next quake is a 2.6 at 90 kilometers in depth, and this is at Aotearoa. And I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. This is at the north end of the island. Our next quake is a 2.8 at 59 kilometers in depth, and this is at Wairau River. You can also see that there is a river, which is the Wairau River, that runs around this way over here. Our next quake is a 2.7 at 100 kilometers in depth at Fiordland National Park. And I was noting the highway that runs through here. And mountains. Our next quake was a 5.3 out in Tonga. And that's followed by a 2.5 at Lansbury Valley. And I know I saw something neat here earlier, so I think maybe it's a lake. I don't know what that is. But it was something back in here. Don't have better view, so I can't figure out exactly what it is, but it just caught my attention. Our next quake is a 2.6, and this is at Mount Taupu Uaneki. Our next quake is a 5.2. This was in the Bellini Island regions. And if we look, it is located over here. I don't know the fault name, but it is located down past where the one that hit yesterday. Actually, it's right here. So this one hit yesterday, and this one hit today. We're on yesterday's quake, so I got a little bit ahead of myself. But this 5.0 happened a little while ago, and this one happened yesterday. Our next quake is a 2.0 at 72 kilometers in depth, and this is at Billhook Bay and Cook Strait. Our next quake is a 2.3 at 109 kilometers in depth. And this is at Taupo Lake, and it's sitting right next to the continental rift boundary. Our next quake was a 2.5 at 141 kilometers in depth, and it sits on the other side of the continental rift boundary. So if you tell, it's both sides are moving. Our next quake is 1.8 at 81 kilometers in depth. And this is at Kemu Nawa Forest. Now, I'm not sure what those areas are, but they did catch my attention. There's quite a few of them that come through here. If you see like this line here. Our next quake is a 2.6 at 139 kilometers in depth. And this is at Quake Valley, near a geothermal lake, which sits over to the right. And this is Waitapu, which I also think is really neat to look at. Our next quake was a 3.4 at 35 kilometers in depth. And this is at Rakama Forest, North Island. Our next quake is a 3.0 at 60 kilometers in depth. And this is off Wanurua Bay. Sorry, I'm still learning how to say the names. Our next quake is a 2.3 at 120 kilometers in depth. And this is Cook Strait, Tasman Bay area. And that's right there. Our next quake is a 4.1, and this is at Seddon, right off land. Our next quake is a 3.0, and this is at the Taranaki Bight. It's off land. And it was followed immediately after by this 3.0 as well. Our next quake is a 1.9 at 87 kilometers in depth. And this is at Cable Bay. Our next quake is a 3.0. And this is at Kekura. This sits on the other side of the line that I see here. Then we go down further. We're starting on today, which is the 27th. Our first quake we're going to start with is a 2.6 at 47 kilometers in depth. And this is at Cable Runaway. Which would be right here. The next quake we're going to look at is a 2.4 at 102 kilometers in depth. This is at Pattaya Kupi helipad. Now if you look, from my understanding there are some oil platforms out here. This is Kupi helipad. Our next quake we're going to look at was a 2.4 at 89 kilometers in depth. And this quake is at Nictoro Ridge. Nictoro White Island Canyon area. Next quake was a 3.7 at 45 kilometers in depth. And it was upgraded from a 3.6, and this is at Torrey. Our next quake was 3.3, and it is at Pinnacle Mountain. You can tell there's Pinnacle Mountain, so I'm assuming this is the whole part of it. But this has a very different look. Our next quake was a 3.1, and this was at Waiau River. You can see the river runs through here, so there's the 3.1 is here. Our next quake is a 2.6. Our next quake is a 2.9. This is Clifford Bay, Seddon area. Our next quake was a 2.6. This is off the White Island area. Our next quake was a 3.4. This is Amelia's Arm near Command Park. And I noticed something neat down here. I was just sort of browsing around and I noticed this. Let's see if I can get a better view here. I think this is cool looking. This Command Peak is right here. Our next quake was a 4.8, a 5.0, a 4.7. I found a 6.3 for Tonga, and it was on the seismo page but was not reported on the front page for EMSC. Then there was another 5.0, which was on the Arctic Ridge. That happened around the same spot. The first one happened yesterday. Our next quake was a 3.3. This was at the gold mine, McCrae's Flat. And if you notice, this is all gold mine. And it happened on this side, so it's down here. You can see McCrae's Flat. place is huge. But I've been seeing quakes on almost every side of it. Anyway, you guys, check out Dutch Sense, and I will talk to you guys later.